Hello, Pharma Life family.
Hi, family.
Here we are at very end of September 2016. It's been awesome. It's really been amazing. And we're in the front of Renee's cabin. He wanted the interview here because he loved his cabin so much. So Pharma Life family, Renee.
Hi, Renee.
Now, Renee, how did you find out about us, your story? How did you learn a little bit about Pharma Life and what it was?
Well, first of all, I was diagnosed with my type 2 diabetes 20 years ago.
Okay.
And in 2011, I went to the Gabriel Cousens Tree of Life in Arizona. And after that, I went back in 2013. And in both cases, my sugar really improved. But when I went back to Sydney, in both cases, my sugar worsened again.
You go back into the old lifestyle.
I went back to the old lifestyle,
Sure, of
and it's the unorganic lifestyle.
Sure.
Because it's very unorganic in Sydney. And 2 months ago, I was really worried about my sugar, my diabetes worsening. So I contacted Michael. Michael, I was there also in 2011 and 2013. We became friends.
And Michael is someone that works at the Gabriel Cousens Institute, or just a friend?
No, he's from Michigan. He also went there for
I see, a guest. Okay.
Yes.
for his own medical issues.
I see.
So I contacted Michael and I said, Michael, I want to go back there. Can we go back to Arizona? He said, look, I'm changing careers, Renee. I can't go now, but why don't you do some homework? There are so many retreats there in Costa Rica.
Nice.
Then I said, Costa Rica?
Nice place.
Where is that place? I still
Where is it?
I have to go to
It's an
Google.
isthmus.
This little island.
I have to find out where the hell is this Costa Rica. But it's good that Michael mentioned it.
Sure.
And then I started researching Google. And the only one coming up is the Farm of Life.
Farm of Life, healing, #1.
And it was claiming that it is the least expensive in the world. And it's true, because I look at some of those health retreats in Europe and in Bali, Indonesia.
Very expensive, yes.
They're all expensive. Even in the Philippines, they're so expensive.
Yep, that's the mission and the vision, Farm of Life.
So I
Affordable
told
healing.
Michael, I'm going to Costa Rica. And he said, you tell me what's happening there, and I might go there next time.
Right.
So, yeah, that's why I came here, and I've been communicating with Michael while I'm here.
And he's coming, isn't he?
He's coming here.
Looking forward to seeing you, Michael.
Probably early in 2017.
Wonderful.
Because he's changing careers, and that he will have this training for 6 months, and hopefully he comes.
Excellent.
Yep.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, so you find out about us, you booked the reservation, now you're here. You've really had kind of an eye-opening 3 weeks. Tell us a little bit about that, especially in your type 2 diabetes. You've had some revelations, right? Because Gabriel Cousens, I guess I'll preface this a little bit before Renee speaks of his story here. Gabriel Cousens and some of the other raw food protocols, if you're out there, there's the Hippocrates Institute, the Wigmorian type philosophy, where there's a lot of wheatgrass enemas, greens, Rejuvelac, fermented drinks, this, that, and the other. Then there's Gabriel Cousens' protocol in raw food, which is a lot more vegetables and protein and fats. Fruit sugar is a no-no in that philosophy. And then you come down here, and we have more of what grows and what abounds and what's in abundance here, which is fruits in the tropics and vegetables. So we do kind of Doug Graham, more of a high fruit vegetable diet and herbs, sort of if you ever follow Dr. Robert Morse or Dr. Graham type protocol. And Renee will talk to you. How were the results in those philosophies?
When I came here, the thing that was going through my mind was, this is just a cheap version of the Tree of Life of Dr. Cousens, and it's just going to be a vegetarian, organic vegetarian, or vegan, organic vegan. That's what I was just expecting.
Right.
And during my first week, my sugar went down again. And I was really rejoicing, yeah, beautiful, it's going down. Same as what will happen in Arizona anyway. But what will happen when I go back to Sydney,
Right.
it will be back to what happened in 2011 and 2013.
Right.
But anyway, during the end of my first week, I heard Jack, one of your volunteers
Jack's
here,
our greenhouse person, massage therapist, very knowledgeable, herbologist.
right? And another Canadian, well, you know Jack is Canadian.
Yes.
And there's Chris, who's also Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
He's also healing.
Absolutely.
They were talking about fruits.
Yes.
And then I joined in the conversation and I said,
Nice.
Dr. Carson said that fruits is not good for diabetics. And they said, no, that's not true. They're okay. And then Jack grabbed one of the books here of Dr. Robert Morse and said, Renee, you read this. And that's what I did. I read the book of Dr. Morse. And he was saying that it's good if it's eaten alone.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, let me try this. So my first trial was I got a whole papaya.
Mm-hmm. Pies are so good here.
In the morning. It's a raw, organic, whole, fresh papaya.
Mm-hmm.
And I ate it whole. And after 2 to 3 hours, I checked my blood.
Yep. This is proof now.
It went down.
See,
It was down. It is perfect.
look at that.
So I said, let me try again another fruit. The next day I tried. Actually, not the next day, but the first one was papaya. And after 3 hours, I tried watermelon.
Mm-hmm.
A whole watermelon and ate the whole thing. And then
Melon
after 3
belly.
hours, I checked it again. Perfect. Normal.
There you have it. So it's a myth, right?
It's a myth.
It really is a myth that fruit sugar, people lump fruit in with high fructose corn syrup,
Correct.
refined sugars, and it is not true, especially if the fruit's eaten in its whole content with the fiber, you're not going to get the blood sugar spikes, right?
Yep. And
Yeah.
that's what exactly Dr. Morse said. You must eat it alone. Don't
Yep.
have it same as with other food because the other foods are slow to transmit to the cells, but this one transports within 30 minutes.
Fruit's fast
Yeah.
because it converts to glycogen very quickly, right?
And fruit, it doesn't digest in the stomach. It wants to go quickly out down to the intestines
quickly
to
into the
digest.
cells to convert as glycogen. So because of that, yeah, eating it either alone or the first, and then maybe some greens or some vegetables.
Sequentially.
You know, exactly. We've had type 1 diabetics come here and type 2. Type 2, very easy to cure with fruits and vegetables. We had a type 1 diabetic do the same thing coming here, and they would eat fruit, and their blood sugar would spike a little bit, and then I had them eating fruit with some of the herbs like holy basil, which brings blood sugar levels down, and also greens, and she found that her blood sugars were completely normal when she ate fruit and then greens afterwards. So everyone's maybe a little bit different with the mono eating, but a diet of fruits and vegetables, as you've proven scientifically with your blood tests,
Yes.
does not raise blood sugar.
No.
And what's important too
See
is
that?
critical really is that the fruit is never eaten with fat. Like
Yes.
You don't want those two things in your bloodstream at the same time.
That you make a very good point, Jody, because that is, yes, that's very important. Why? Exactly what he read into Dr. Morse's book. The big mistake people make on the raw food diet is eating fruits with fats.
Yes.
And that's that means nuts and seeds. Yes, they're healthy, but if they're eaten together, fruit goes into the cells quickly. Protein and fats, nuts and seeds, coconut meat, avocados, they move into the bloodstream and out into the cells very slowly. So if you eat them together, it causes a host of problems. So a high fruit vegetable diet is extremely healing. Or a high fat nuts and seeds vegetable diet is also healing, the Gabriel Cousens philosophy. But if you mix the two at the same meal, now you've got problems. And so for those of you that are type 1 or type 2 diabetics out there and you're terrified of fruit sugar, you don't have to be, right?
Yep.
You really don't.
So Renee, are you eating any fat?
Well, I started eating here avocados and coconut, but when I read what Dr. Morse said, you should not eat avocados and coconuts because they increase your fat level, and this create some resistance for the insulin to enter the cells.
It can if it's eaten with fruit sugar.
Yeah.
Yep, it can, for sure. That's
So-
why the two, you really need is if you're coming here as a type 1 or type 2 diabetic, you can really type 1, you can completely control the illness. Type 2, you can completely cure it with the high fruit and vegetable diet and no fat, right? And or you can use the Gabriel Cousens protocol, which is the nuts and seeds, coconut meat, and just vegetables, greens, vegetable juices. That is healing too. But the mixture of fruits and fats together is what causes the problem.
One problem that I have with Dr. Cousens' protocol is it takes a lot of time to prepare those salads. Whereas here,
Who wants to make a salad? Yeah, you can just cut it, seed it, eat it, the fruit, right?
the fruit is just, you know, you can just eat it with bare hands, you know, especially
Spoon.
with mangoes.
Yeah.
I just eat mangoes with my bare hands, you know.
You
Yeah.
can pick it off the tree and eat it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, to add to this too, those of you that let's say you want to eat this way this is a lifestyle change, right? Eating fruits which taste good,
Yeah.
right? They taste good. You feel good. You're like, oh yay! I get to eat mangoes. I get to eat bananas now. I get to do this. I get to do
Yeah.
that. I get to eat all these. So, and then vegetables sometimes they don't taste as good. Imagine a life where you just had to eat vegetables, you know. So now you've opened up a lifestyle for yourself that you can enjoy.
Yep.
Right? Because come on, life is short. We want to enjoy it, right? So now the fruits, you know, a whole new world is open to you.
One other thing that I feel with vegetables or making salads is
Mm-hmm.
I feel depressed with it because it's always the same. Tastes
Boring.
nothing.
Yep.
Tastes nothing or bitter, especially the kale.
Mhm.
But I still eat it because
It's good for you.
it's good for me.
Yeah.
But now with fruits, they're sweet, they're so nice, you feel happy about it.
Yeah.
And
You can
yeah,
enjoy your life more.
I can enjoy myself now.
You can make a lifestyle change that's enjoyable for you.
Yeah.
Because I mean, let's face it. You know, like how many people they buy fitness equipment, and then they, you know, in their home, and then they don't like it, and then it ends up being like a clothes rack, you know, for drying clothes. You spend all this money. You know, it's because you didn't enjoy it. You have to find something you enjoy, and then you can make a lifestyle out of it. You know, and with fruits and vegetables, now you can make a nice lifestyle out of it. It's fantastic.
Do you think you can forward this video to Dr. Cousens?
Absolutely, sure.
Forward it to him.
Sure, but I will say this, Dr. Cousens gets very good results.
Yeah,
You know,
he does.
I mean, there are many different raw food philosophies that are out there. We are one that includes fruits. And then another topic of conversation, too, is those of you out there, and we'll get into this later more, but those of you out there that have cancer, too, because a lot of books, right, says that sugar feeds cancer. Well, just real quickly, because we're not talking about that so much with this interview, but know this, everybody out there in YouTube land, fruit sugar does not feed cancer. It does not. Only acidic blood feeds cancer. Fruit creates an alkaline environment. So fruit sugar will not feed cancer. We've had people here come down with cancer, and they've been greatly improved on a fruits and vegetable diet. And we'll talk about that later, but also, certainly, right, in this case, type 1, type 2 diabetes, a fruits and vegetable diet works, right?
Hi, Dr. Cousens.
Yes. Hi, Dr.
to your-
Cousens.
You know, the work that he does, the work that every healing center around the world, regardless of what they're charging, is so important. It is necessary and needed, and his philosophy, it works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely it works. Yeah, definitely it works.
So beautiful. So when you leave here now, so you've been really inspired by this place, and I think it's great, and he's really enjoyed it, which is wonderful. Other than a few little bug bites, which in the rainy season, some guests get a little, some guests get a lot. Renee got a lot, but he handled it well. He had a good time. So when you go back, you're going to implement this right now. You try to find some organic fruits and your vegetables and implement this lifestyle and exercise.
Well, I think I told you the other day that I'm going to buy as much organic fruits and veggies back in Sydney.
Fantastic.
If they're really true organic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's difficult to get those nice watermelon, organic watermelon or bananas there.
Sure.
So what I'll do next time is I'll try first those organic fruits,
Mm-hmm.
and then I also, let's say I'll buy organic bananas. I'll test my blood if it's gonna work,
Yeah.
and then try non-organic. If it still works, well, I now have more options.
You have more options.
I have
Exactly.
more options. Yep.
Exactly, and you don't have to. In time, the lifestyle will get so easy for you. You won't have to be a slave to your tester anymore. You know, you can just be like, nope, this is my lifestyle, and my lifestyle has adopted a healthy way of living, and I don't even have type 2 diabetes anymore.
There are plenty of interviews on YouTube, and these are people like me who have given their testimony that they are curing their type 2 diabetes on a mono fruit meal.
Sure, it's doable. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's not only me who's succeeding on this. There's many more in YouTube.
Yeah. So you can do it. Those of you that are out there with diabetes and you're a bit afraid of fruit, you don't have to be. Even cancer as well. You don't have to be. Fruit's natural. It grows from trees. Anything from nature will help heal you and transform you and change your life. Thank you, Renee.
Yep.
And we'll see you again.
Thanks, Renee.
We'll see you next year, June or July.
All right.
Next year.
Excellent.
Good.
Love you, my friend. Okay.
Thank you.
Pura vida, everybody. We'll see you.